Hello. I'm just testing the sound first. Let's see. Hello. Okay. So the sound is fine. It seems like it's fine. And let me just check. All right. So today I'll just paint some watercolor style effect because oopsie. Oh, hey Benny. Welcome to my this thing stream. I'm fine. How are you doing? I just decided to have my stream on odd days because I might leave the weekend out for art classes. So that's why I thought maybe I'll do it today. This Sunday I missed. So, as I was saying, I wanted to try a bit of watercolor style because I miss watercolor a lot. So, the drawing that I'm going to use is this one. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if it's AI generated or not, but I don't think this is AI because I after searching for, I didn't search for this specific drawing photograph. I just searched for dragonfly images because I kind of love dragonflies. So I like this one, but I was not sure if it was AI. But I found my own painting. This is an actual watercolor paint, not exactly watercolor paint, but water brush painting. This was from 2017, so before all this AI shenanigans. So I think it's kind of okay. This is similar to the original photograph, so probably it's not AI generated because this is my hand-drawn dragonfly and it's kind of similar to the original one. So yeah, I was originally thinking like whether it's AI or not because seriously I'm too tired to figure it out. It's like one of the reason I thought it was AI because when I searched for a reference image, all the reference images that were coming, they were all AI. And with like one dragonfly had like wings on one side and no wings on the other. So I was quite confused. But then when I realized that I actually drew this painting, I had this before, I was like, okay, so this is not AI. Definitely not AI because I actually hand drawn the same thing before. So around 2017 there was no AI, so I was clear. But yeah, you cannot tell. Like the other day I actually painted a girl and the reference image was, I think it's AI because when I started painting her eyes and I zoomed in, she had like 4 lids, like her eyelid, how do I say it, like it was weird, like she had eyelids and then another one on top of it, which I did not see as a whole picture. Like when I zoomed in on the picture and I realized, oh my god, and by that time I painted almost entire face. So oh, thank you, thanks for the compliment. Yeah, that was just a quick sketch kind of thing. So yeah, and this is something I am doing because I miss watercolor painting. One of the main reason is that I don't want to acknowledge, but I get lazy when I draw traditional art because I have a system of keeping everything in particular places. So whenever I try to paint, um, I take them out, and then I have to kind of put them away exactly how I kept it, and that kind of gives me stress. And another AI is so whenever. Yeah, that's the thing. AI is growing really very fast, and the worst part is that they're actually taking all the information from humans, artists, like humans. For example, I was thinking that I'm posting so many, hours long drawings here on YouTube. I will never know if they farm these drawings and then make those. AI can make, speed painting, or AI can make all those WIP videos. They will scrap all our WIP videos and painting process videos, and then they will make, I mean, the AIs will make those kind of videos. And what I don't understand, what's the point of it? What's the point of making WIP videos? You want to make the world believe that you created it when you didn't. I mean, not you, but the person who will use it. They want the world to believe that, okay, I created that. This is the painting process, which is also AI generated. What's the point of that? Like, why do you want artist? I mean, why do you want to, marquee the water? Is very difficult to articulate. What I'm trying to say is, why do you want artists to lose their credentials, unless you're just plain jealous? Like, why would people do that? It doesn't make sense. Nowadays, a lot of people actually pretend to draw, but they're submitting AI generated art to art contest and lots of other things. It's really, really sad. Yes, but what's the point of making WIP videos? Seriously. We artists do it because we want to show people what we are doing, like, oh, how we are painting, or like giving. But if the entire process is made by AI, you are not making anything. What? I seriously, I have no words. Anyway, so yeah, as I was saying, I was also testing the paper quality. I mean, not paper texture quality of Ibispaint. It has an inbuilt option where you can add different paper texture, um, which was a big mistake, because after I started putting on color, I realized how pigmented the colors come out on this paper, because and even if I reduce the opacity, it does not exactly get reduced. Like, it's so, it's very hard to control the color flow. See, you're saying that AI cannot take artist work, but AI successfully changed clients' perspective on art. A few days ago, I don't know if you're on Twitter, but a few days ago, there was a huge commotion, I would say, huge debate on Twitter, was because there was this one famous artist. She was proposed a project which would take her around 3 years. It was an 80 deck, what is it, tarot card. Yeah, it was an 80 deck tarot card making. So she calculated and said, per deck it will take her 2 weeks if she works full time, from brainstorming to researching on the topic, and then drawing along with all the feedback from the clients, and then revisioning the art and everything. So per card, it will take her 2 weeks. And along with transfer of copyrights and all those other commercial rights and all, she kind of calculated the total price would be around $1,000 or a bit more, like $1,500 or what, like one card, because one card is kind of like a whole illustration. And by that level, it will take her 3 years and around 100,000, over 100, there was a huge amount. But the client proposed $50 per card. And she kind of showed that how it's not possible for her to have a livelihood, like working full time as a designer, and then if she gets this job, it won't be possible for her to carry on with her foods and bills and all that. So that's something AI did. AI made clients believe that an artist can produce what something supposed to cost around $1,000 should be cost around 50. That's the why do you think the line art looks crazy? I mean, I don't understand. Like, I'm using a pencil brush, by the way. That's why it kind of gives a natural look. Also, I am trying not to use any digital tool, but I did use Control Z. Like, I did use undo option quite a few times. It's really hard to get out of that programming that digital softwares give, train you for. Like, when you are doing traditional art on paper, your brain kind of switch, which doesn't happen when you're using a software. So it was extremely difficult not to use any other digital shortcuts, but I did sometimes use undo option. Other than that, it was pretty more or less same. Another thing is the digital software had the problem with, if I add color over the pencil work and start blending, the pencil work will blend away. But in traditional art, that doesn't happen. Pencil drawing does not get completely blended with color, watercolor that is. So that's why I had to use a separate layer. Other than that, I'm not sure what you mean by crazy, by the way. Like, is it bad? You said nice work, so I think it's good. Thanks. But yeah. I also reduced the opacity to the minimum. Now, this is a very common trend actually. These clients reducing the price. This is a very common trend that they expect artists to work in much. In fact, some people expect us to work a non-livable wage, which is bizarre. Not bizarre, because they are not producing the art, they just want the output, and they see AI is doing very. And did you know there was this American footballer in the sense American football, not what we call football. He is launching, is it a website or a software? I don't know. He's launching something where you can make comics with AI. Can you imagine? Like, you cannot copyright that thing, first of all, and second of all, how are you going to make comics with AI if you're not exploiting comic artists? Like, you are obviously taking art from those comic artists. Okay, so this is how it looked like without the paper texture. It's extremely pastel colored and all that, and when you add the paper texture, it becomes extremely dark and pigmented. So yeah, I chose watercolor paper. I think it was number 2, because all others were like, the pigment was so heavy on them, I didn't know what to do. Oh, thank you, thank you. It's just, but still, I was not happy with the drawing because I made the dragonfly look like a princess. There's thin waist and then there's long legs, kind of thing. So I had a sleepless night when I sketched it. Like, oh no, I did it wrong. I did it really wrong. I have to fix it. Also, yeah, I mean, that's where I realize how difficult often it becomes to go traditional, because I cannot just use lasso tool to cut certain portion and resize it. I have to do everything manually. Another thing was the background. Oh my god, I could not use blur tool, so I was just repeating to myself, no, I cannot use Gaussian blur. I have to blur it manually, like I am painting on a paper, because there's no Gaussian blur on paper. So I just blended and blended till it looks hazy, but it still took a lot of work. I don't know, people who are really good at traditional painting, they have my respect. I mean, I do traditional painting, but I'm not a master. But I've seen some people doing traditional painting like they're the masters, and I really have respect for them. So there's this difference between traditional and um, this thing software, because in traditional you can just add water to blend. Here you have to have a different brush to blend, completely different brush, which is water brush, by the way. So yeah. So by the way, how's your work, Benny? I hope is going well. And yeah, today is Wednesday, supposed to be a work day, I suppose. This is me trying to desperately create that blur background look, so that we can all focus on foreground. Yeah, so this is, I'm trying to do a bit of negative space painting, because I realize if I want a bit blurry background, it's better to have a darker background, then lighter, and then slowly lighter. So negative space painting would come really handy here. Another thing is that the color transition, kind of, I was not sure about the color transition, how I would do it, um, because I wanted to keep the green on one side, and slowly it becomes warm, like cool and warm combination. And one of the main reason was because of this painting. As you can see, I have these green things moving towards uh, the right and the below as a bit reddish. So yeah, I mean, one of the reason of showing the entire painting process is to show the struggle of the work, like things you want and it's not happening, and then you keep doing it ultimately to get the end result, the result that you want. So yeah. Just look at the opacity. Like majority of my colors have like 20-30% of opacity, and still it comes out so dark, so pigmented. It's just, yeah, I don't know what to say. It's because of the paper. Like I don't know if there's any what's that thing called, is um, blending of yeah, layer blended or not, because the moment you're using a texture, their one of their default texture, the color become extremely pigmented. So I'm not sure how the program works there, or how they decide that how much pigmented the colors will become. Is it the, are the color when I'm putting it on the canvas, are they I mean, what the program is thinking, like, is it okay, is it multiply blending mode, or is it some other blending mode? I have no idea how they actually figure this out, that thing. So even with extremely low opacity, it just does not give you that light color, like the control over color, lightness or thickness, I don't know what to call it, like lightness or dark. It's not dark, like it's more acute, more pigmented. So that skill that you cannot control on this app, or maybe you can, but is very little. The controlling power is very little, not as much as you would have when you're actually painting in watercolor pencil, like you're actually going for traditional painting. I think Benny left because he's just quiet. uh, Anyways, oh, also my recording, the software that I use for my artwork recording and everything, I think this texture kind of created problem for my software recording, because it often get woozy because this texture is kind of making it difficult to record. I don't know. I I got most amount of bad frame drops on this painting, and this kind of broken pixelated frames. I didn't get it before as much. That is, I didn't get as much frame drops and pixelated frames before. So when I'm adding lighter color over darker color, obviously it's difficult in watercolor. So I would imagine I have to use gouache for that, or gouache. I don't know how to pronounce gouache. So I'm not doing it, but the from the reference there are lots of shiny parts. So I'll just that would be the uh, you know representation of gouache on in traditional painting. What can I say? So yeah, after coloring often time you realize the shape is not according to your liking, and that's what happened with me. And this is the problem with traditional art. It's extremely difficult to change drastically change figures like shapes and everything after you colored that region. It's not digital art, to be honest. So that was I kind of panicked when I was like, oh no, how am I going to change that? Because I did not like its upper body and a lower body proportion. Dragonflies should have that kind of tail look much longer than upper body. Their upper body is much smaller than this. So that is something I was like, why didn't I notice when I was drawing? Why? I mean, drawing with pencil, that is, like the pencil part. Because if I'm doing emulating the entire process, then I could change during the drawing process, like use an eraser or something. But with watercolor or any traditional coloring method, you can't really use an eraser. Yes, for watercolor you can use water and try to wipe the color out of the page, but some part of the water is absorbed by the page and you cannot really wipe everything off. I don't know if there's any new technology where they have discovered watercolor eraser. Probably they have. I don't know. So if it's there, then that's good. But in my knowledge, I don't know if there's an eraser, so it's better to, wipe and then color over it. So that's what I'm going to do after the flower part is done. Because another issue with painting digitally, this kind of image, is that I need to focus one part at a time, where if I have a paper in front of me with brush and all, I can do, I can see overall picture as well as focus on one part both simultaneously, which is not really possible digitally, at least for me. So yeah. Hold on. I have no idea if my voice is. Oh, it's working. Sometimes you just don't know because you don't have another outlet to know. So it's working. Alright. Oh, so now Benny has left. Like, he left. I'm sure of it. Okay, fine. Uh, of course, people can be busy, so yeah. Uh, why? I just wonder, should I continue a live streaming or should I stop doing it? I'm not sure, because I don't know if people like live watching live stream, or I don't know. I seriously don't know. So, or should I start posting videos like before? That is also a lot of work, to be honest, but yeah. And also, what kind of video should I post? Like, seriously. Oh, no problem. People, yeah, that's I know. Understand. People are busy. Like, for me, it's just I've been streaming and I was thinking, like, for other streamers, it's like, okay, they have people whoever coming and going, doesn't matter. So thought I just thought you left. It's okay. It's fine. I was just wondering whether I should continue streaming or I should stop, because streaming also takes time, and like I get preoccupied. I have to be there during the stream and all that, and I really don't know if streaming actually brings in more viewer, or I was thinking of creating art communities through stream, but I exactly not I'm sure what to do with stream. uh, I think putting up videos also has a problem. The problem is you have to come up with lots of videos. Like, in stream you can just paint something. On video you have to have something really new and shiny, because people don't watch art video if there's nothing new or interesting. Like, there's so many people in this field, so probably the competition is much higher. So yes, I mean, sometimes I just stream all by myself, so it's kind of boring to be honest, and I just don't know what to do. So yeah, yeah, we'll see. Whichever will be a less time-consuming thing to do, I'll do it, because I want to keep the YouTube channel up because I want to post art videos and all that stuff because I like it. I like them. And I like talking to other artists, like other people from this same field. So that's what is bothering, and I'll see which is more manageable. Yeah, stream kind of, if there's not too many people, it just gets a bit boring. Also, I wish I had a better system where I can actually stream live my artwork. That would have been better. However, it would take like hours to do that. But still, it would have been enjoyable. Maybe someday. 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 To be honest, in watercolor method, painting method, is pretty easy. Oh my god, noise. Yeah, background noise. That is another aspect of stream versus video. Background noise, my god. Yeah, VTuber model. Oh, thank you. I love painting insects. I don't know how. Oh my god, the noise. So much noise. My goodness. Anyways, as I was saying, if you like, do you like insects? Like, do you like macro world? I prefer macro world a lot. So I also love dragonflies, to be honest. Yeah. And I'm glad that you like it. I'm happy. Happy, happy. Happy, happy boy. As I was saying that, yeah, what this method of watercolor painting is really easy than what I do during digital painting. Even though I'm not using any tactics of digital painting, still I would say it's kind of it gives that how should I put it, realistic vibe. It's not realistic, like much more mature looking vibe without doing much. You just blend the color. I just outline with color and then blend it because it's digital. But if it was watercolor, probably I would simultaneously blend it while doing the outline. But here I have to change the brush, and I'm too lazy to change the brush every time I draw. So I drew everything and then start blending. And the paper's texture actually helped, even though it kind of ruined the pigmentation of the painting. It can with the texture, the look gives a bit more not realistic vibe, but I don't know what to call it. Artistic? Yeah. I'm now just tooting my own horn. Yeah, I like ladybugs too. Yeah, did you see that painting that I did with ladybug? I just thought maybe I was also thinking painting ladybug, but I thought maybe that will be too much ladybugs because I've already done with ladybugs. I did a frog, I did snails, and now I'm doing dragonfly. Which insect do you want me to paint next? Is it a spider or a fly? No, not fly. No, should I keep fly as an option? Which other insects do you like me to paint, or like I can paint in kind of macro setting? What other insects that are adorable to draw? Don't say butterfly, because butterfly is so common. But yeah, butterfly is also pretty. So yeah, caterpillar, moths. What else? What else? Ants. But ants are they're fine. I like ants. Hmm, which other insects are there? Oh, you've watched that one. But I'm thinking which other insect or small creature I can paint. If you have any recommendation, let me know, because I'm just thinking about other small macro world that would look good painting. Cockroach! No! That's the only thing I don't like. I mean, I don't hate them, but how am I going to make them look pretty? Oh, I mean, even spiders can look pretty depending on which species you are painting. But, cockroach? Oh, yeah, I haven't seen pretty cockroaches. Like, I'm not saying cockroaches are not pretty, but no, they're not pretty. I'm sorry. I can't be polite about that. Okay, there's what was that insect called? Oh my god, I forgot the name. They have a children's story with that insect. It's not dragonfly, it's which worm? The earthworm? Earthworms are just, there's hardly anything to draw. I'm talking about the mantis, praying mantis. What do you think of praying mantis? There's different type of praying mantis out there. There's praying mantis. There's okay. See ya. Bye. I hope to see you in other videos or streams, and we can catch up then. Enjoy your work or wherever you're going. See ya. Yeah, praying mantis. That's a good option to paint next. For the macro world, that is. And what other small animals except frogs? Because I painted I mean, I can paint different kind of frogs. Little birds are fine. Squirrels. Yeah, squirrels are fine too. Yeah, you too. Have a great day. Bye. See you. Squirrels. Yeah. Oh. So, yeah, painting squirrels and praying mantis. Oh, lots of stuff to paint. What else? Squirrels, chipmunks, little birds, tiny birds, ants, praying mantis, mm, moths. Yeah, they're great. Nah, stream is kind of boring. I understand, even from a viewer's perspective, because what am I doing? I'm just painting something and just talking about the painting and stuff. It's not exactly enjoyable, as they say. So I understand streaming games because, yeah, that's cool, that's enjoyable. But streaming art is kind of not. I really don't know how some people can stream and have lots of viewers. I don't. And also, I'm not sure how to be entertaining because I'm not entertaining, I think. Yeah, I do have kind of, I like to joke around sometimes, but yeah, when stream starts, I'm like, what should I talk? So yeah, I realize it's not really interesting for people. No. Also, art, another thing I've noticed on YouTube, art videos don't do well. You make news about art, like lots of controversies and all that, people might gobble it up. You never know. But if you make just art videos like I do, I yeah, it's probably not as interesting. So that's that. Maybe I'll make stream videos once in a while, not that much if it's not that interesting. Yeah, that's probably it. Well, I think one of the ways I could separate the background from foreground, because it all looked like on the same plane and there's no focus and everything just a one big giant puddle of color. So just to separate, one thing I could do is using a lighter color as an on the edge of the subject, and of course I'll blend it, but it's kind of like showing that it's in the light. Also it kind of separate the foreground or the subject from the background of the entire image, which is kind of muddy in the background, and it kind of stands out with lighter color. And since it's, again, I'm trying to emulate watercolor painting, I don't think plain watercolor would do it. I would need gouache for that, or acrylic. Probably I'll settle with gouache for this specific outlining. And the flowers below, I'm not doing all that as much as I did on the flower above. One of the reason is kind of create a shade part, like the flower below is not entirely in the light, so that kind of can separate the two flower groups. I don't know what do they call bunch of flowers together, whatever. So yeah, so that's why I just focused on the primary subject, that is the flower above with the dragonfly. The flower below is just adding up, so not too much focus on the flower parts below. And the leaves also kind of separate the foreground with the background, because I initially thought I wouldn't add those leaves, but then I realized they don't look good without it, like the leaves kind of covering the foreground and separating it from the background. However, I think it would work without the leaves. Who cares, it's just a painting. I could do without the leaves as well. Yes, the water droplets. The thing is, again, if I'm emulating watercolor painting, I'm not supposed to do that on top of colored painting, because white would not come out that great in watercolor no matter how dry you use. Yeah, probably it will come out a bit if you use dry paint, but I think again gouache is better, as well as I sometimes, when I do traditional painting, I sometimes use white gel pen, which I think I need to buy again. I just remember I think they're all dried up, because I haven't used them for a really long time. So, yep, thanks for reminding me. I'm just thanking myself for reminding that I don't have white gel pen, and probably a lot of other stuff to start over my traditional art journey. This entire painting session kind of reminded me that I don't have a lot of traditional art tools. I mean, I used to have them, but they're just all gone or dried up or something, which is kind of depressing if you think about it. Oh well, I will when I'll start again, I'll find a way to compensate for those stuff, lost stuff. So yeah. This part is definitely can be done with the gel pen. I don't have one in real. Or gouache. Yeah, whatever. Okay, this is me trying to create blur the background without using Gaussian or any kind of blur that digital softwares give you. Like, I'm trying to make things blurry just with brush strokes, which is very difficult when you're using a software and you know that you can just do it with one click. Your brain just kind of urges you to do it the lazy way, and you're like, no, I'm trying to emulate watercolor painting. Do you have Gaussian blur in watercolor? No. You have to rub your brush on the canvas over and over again to make it blurry. I don't know how much successful I was, but at least it's not visible. So that's a success, I think. Like, you can't see the background properly, like there's no proper structure at the background, but still there's a background. So I take that as a small win for me, to be honest. Yeah, so I'm creating kind of like a frame. So again, to guide the viewer's focus, like vision to the subject, because to me, I think the background is too chaotic and kind of distract people from seeing the things in front of them. So I was like, okay, I'll make it even more vague and blurry and not focusy. I don't know, like, again, the only time I use separate layer where I knew that in actual painting, if it you don't need a separate layer, but in here they don't have that actual painting kind of look or the effect. So they will probably smudge everything, because in real watercolor painting, certain things won't smudge, or difficult to smudge rather. But in this software, one stroke of water brush, everything get mixed. And in real painting you can wait to dry one layer, make one layer, like keep you can draw with for a longer time. And how should I put it, oh my god, in traditional painting you can wet, make a layer dry, and then paint on over it. It will be easier, the smudge will be minimum. But here on this software there's no drying period, nothing is dry, everything is pixels, so there's no such option. So for that only I used different layer here, that's all. That's the only reason, because otherwise everything will be smudged together, kind of mushed together, and that's not how it works in traditional painting. So for example, the last color part that I did, I'd assume if I do it in real life, like traditional painting, I would wait for rest of the painting to dry and then I'll paint over. As for the sprinkles watercolor, I'll just use a toothbrush and sprinkle all over. To be honest, yeah, I mean, it is great to use a toothbrush, not on your tooth or teeth or on any part of your body. I mean, use it on the painting. You just dip in a colored concoction, like a mix, a very liquid watercolor, and then just spray it. How should I put it? Like if you just run your finger through the brush, and it will be spray on the paper and on your finger and probably on your clothes too. So do it on your own risk. I have done it and it's kind of messy and fun. It's very fun. So yeah, I think I will do it traditionally as well someday. For now, this is it. This is the painting. And thanks for visiting my channel as usual. Thanks for being here and watching my stuff. Just drop a like if you could. And yep. And I'll see you in next video and or stream. So bye.